Teesha on the team. So I'm here to give my thoughts, my highlights about the BET Awards. I didn't get to see it when it premiered, but I just watched it tonight. And boy, the message, the imagery, the music, the art, I loved everything about this award show. And I really didn't know how they were gonna do it with it being virtual or whatever, but they did that, and I am so honored to be like, if ever there was a time to like be proud of being black, this was it. This was just beautiful, and like everybody's performance, the theme was pretty much black and proud. BET is celebrating 40 years of being on air or whatever, so that's an accomplishment. But we've also had a lot of losses to police brutality. We've had, excuse me, a lot of losses in music and media and art. A lot of people, oh, excuse me, who've passed on within the past year or so. So, rest in peace to them. But oh my God, let me just talk about it. First of all, how it started. Fight the Power is already my song, but the fact that you added Black Thought, Nas, Rhapsody, YG, they took that song and they slaughtered it. You hear me? Each verse gave me a chill in my spine, and I'm like, oh my God, like this is our anthem for the year. This is our anthem. This is our song. We still fighting the power years later. And how old is Fight the Power? Fight the Power. That song is about as old as me, if I'm not mistaken. Probably a little, a little younger, but still, I grew up in the era of Fight the Power. When Do the Right Thing came out and Radio Raheem was blasting it in the movie. Like, it's just, oh my God, they killed that. They killed that. And I was just like, now, Amanda Seales as a host. First of all, I've loved Amanda Seales since My Brother and Me, okay? In case y'all didn't know that, Amanda Seales is Dion for My Brother and Me. And I've loved her since, but oh my God, like just her now, she is so woke and so funny and so hilarious. And I enjoy watching her. She had like a whole lot of things to say about, you know, police brutality and Black Lives Matter and pretty much speaking about racism and how people are like, oh, she does too much, and she's like she would like to speak about something else, but racism always beats her to it. She's like she would like to speak about Skittles, but when she speaks about Skittles she's reminded of Trayvon. And it's just everything that she was saying tonight was needed. It needed to be said. And then I like the fact that, she was on each of the segments that used to be on BET. Her background was Teen Summit, Video Soul, 106 in Park, Rap City, and she killed her verse on Rap City, which I thought was adorable. But I'm sitting here and I'm watching BET and I'm like, wow, 40 years of black entertainment. And I'm like, Teen Summit, Rap City, Video Soul, all of these shows that used to be a thing, that needs to come back. That needs to come back. Yeah, granted, we have the TV shows and we have the entertainment on BET, but Teen Summit is needed, especially for the generation now, the generation of kids that's growing up now. Teen Summit is needed, so they need to bring that back. Rap City needed. Video Soul most definitely needed, because it's like the soul and music is starting to die out. There's not a lot of there's soulful singers out there, but they're not as mainstream. You know what I'm saying? So they need to bring back all of these shows, and I would be here for it if they did. I feel like since it's it's the 40th anniversary, bring them shows back. Bring them back. Now is as good a time as any. Since y'all did this whole award show virtual, bring this back and make history. That's all I'm saying. So, we get into like awards and stuff, and they said that someone named Nicholas Johnson is Princeton's first black valedictorian, which kudos to him because that's history right there. He's the first black valedictorian, and Princeton is pretty much white. So for him to make history as the first black valedictorian, congrats. And then Roddy Ricch performed. I didn't know the first song he performed because I'm not too familiar with Roddy Ricch, but I knew the second song or whatever. And I was like, okay. And then his performance was, focused on Black Lives Matter and all of that other stuff. And I enjoyed watching that performance. Um, I wrote down notes, so if you see me look down, that's what I'm looking at. John Legend. I have been in love with John Legend's voice ever since What the Hell Are You Waiting For? I love John Legend, and for him to sing this song, and it's pretty much, We Will Never Break, and pretty much like we're always gonna be strong. Like that's a song where it makes you feel like we're always gonna be strong. We're always gonna, move forward. We're never gonna break. We're never gonna break. No matter how hard you try to break us, we're never gonna break. And I love the song. The song was beautiful. Now, Marseille Martin. So like I said, I didn't see the BET Awards, but I did hear about people talking about her wig or whatever when she was doing the when she was pretty much announcing who the winner was. I think for best hip hop artist, and it was Meg The Stallion for I'm a Savage, classic bougie rich. I don't know the whole dance. I just know I'm a savage. So yeah, so people had a lot to say about her wig, and I'm like, leave that child alone. First of all, Marseille Martin is black girl magic. I don't care how that girl wear her hair. That is a beautiful girl. She's hilarious on Blackish, and she's a friggin' that girl is a business, okay? Just her name, Marseille Martin, speaks volumes. So for people to go on social media and talk about her wig and say how the wig is bigger than her head and all this other craziness, she came back on and clapped back at y'all like, yo, listen, I'm in quarantine, okay? I tried to, I looked my best on camera. I'm in the house. I slapped something on for y'all real quick, did what I had to do, and probably snatched it off when I finished off the camera. Leave that girl alone. Y'all focused on the wrong stuff. Like, oh my God, the ignorance. Jesus Christ, leave that girl alone. Leave her alone. Talk about her credentials. Stop talking about her hair. Okay, because I'm pretty sure that wig costs more than half of the people that had something to say. It costs more than y'all house. Shut up. I hate that. I hate that. That's not the focus right now. The focus is on black empowerment. That's what the focus is. It's not on her hair. She was introducing. Anyway. So the next performance was D Smoke and Sir, who Amanda said are brothers, which I was shocked to find out. And their song was pretty much about just black everything, Black Lives Mattering, black excellence, black everything. And then at the end they introduced someone named Jackie Goucher, who was their mom, and I'm like, okay, all in the family. But I enjoyed their performance as well. Like I just enjoyed the fact that everybody incorporated Black Lives Matter and all of this amazing stuff. People incorporated that into their performances, because I'm pretty like usually most of the time the BET Awards will have a theme, sometimes they don't. And I think last year when Regina Hall hosted it, she was, bigging up her hometown of Baltimore, the DMV area. I can't for the life of me remember who hosted the year before, but I know like each time Monique did it, she was bigging up big girls or whatnot, and she came out to Beyonce songs or whatever. Who else? When Jamie Foxx hosted, that was around the time that Michael Jackson had just passed away, so the whole night was a theme. The theme was just Michael Jackson. So BET, I like the theme of black empowerment or whatever, and I just felt like this shirt was appropriate to wear. Because I am a queen and I am a mother, so I'm Queen Mother. And I am a black Queen Mother at that. So I just watching the whole award show just felt so proud of my melanin and my melanin brothers and sisters. And I'm just like, oh, look at the beauty we possess and look at all we can do when it's like power in numbers. Like, we are golden and we are beautiful, child. So, now we get to Meg Thee Stallion's performance, okay? Meg Thee Stallion's performance reminded me so much of California Love because she was like in a desert and she performed her Girls in the Hood song first, and after she performed that, she performed Savage. And first of all, shout out to Megan. I hope that when she hits 30, her knees are still good because I'm about to be a whole 33 in December, and if I was to do the Megan knees, I know for a fact my knees would crack. It would snap, crackle, and pop, and I would need some icy hot, maybe some Tylenol, some Tiger Balm. I would need all of that the next morning, so I can't drop it like it's hot. I let it down like it's warm. And Megan, she was just a twerking fool. She busted out a split at one point, but she performed Savage remix with Beyonce. Beyonce wasn't there to perform, but even if Megan killed it, she killed it. And then, the imagery behind her was the Black Lives Matter fist, and then when she walked down the side steps, it said Black Lives Matter. And then when she finished performing, she hopped on this I don't know what it's called, but it was like a metal car or something. And she was still, I'm a savage. It was cute. It was a nice little performance. And it's like, a lot of these performances, I'm like, I wonder how these would have looked if they were able to perform it on stage. But I'm kind of glad that they didn't, because it's like their creativity was out of this world with their performances. So next we get to DaBaby and Roddy Ricch, and they're performing, and their performance was very, 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 like, it spoke volumes. DaBaby, he was rapping with, laying on the ground with a knee to his neck and whatnot. And then they would switch to like pictures of the riots and pictures of the news and the media, people protesting with Black Lives Matter signs. And I enjoyed the performance. I enjoyed the song. I don't remember the name of the song. I didn't write down the name of the song, but I just wrote the performance. But I just enjoyed the imagery the whole night of the award show. Like, I just love the creativity and how people put this, together. If people are performing these things in their house, that's amazeballs, because it's, like they creative. Quarantine got us. We all gonna come out of this creative, okay? Then, Jennifer Hudson took us to church with her Aretha Franklin tribute of Young, Gifted, and Black. She took us to church. She took us to church the same way Aretha Franklin would have took us to church too. Rest in peace to the Queen of Soul. But my God, Jennifer Hudson, yes, girl. Yes. Like, just, I loved it. And I loved her dress, how she had, like, I think it was like a green sleeve on this side, and then it was like sheer and like glittery on this side. And then I loved how her background singers and the pianists was just, they were dressed in white. She had a white background. I loved it. I loved it so much. Anderson .Paak and J-Rock performed, and I liked their performance as well, because their performance was pretty much on police brutality. They had they were talking about, like, the stories that we've all been hearing of everybody who died at the hands of racism and police brutality. And I enjoyed their performance as well. And like I said, I can't remember all of the songs of each performance because I didn't write it down, but I enjoyed the imagery, like I keep saying. It's a bug in here. Oh my God, this is the main thing I hate about summers, these daggone bugs. But Wayne Brady. Now, I love Wayne Brady, but it's like, what exact is Wayne Brady an actor, or is he just an entertainer? Because he could sing, he could dance, and he can act. So, that's a triple threat usually. So I enjoy watching him do his performance his tribute to Little Richard. You know, I think it looked like he was at his house or at a house, whatever, but it was a nice house. And he he was dressed up like Little Richard, and he had pictures of Little Richard all over the place. But then when you looked at one of the walls, it was a picture of Trayvon Martin and George Floyd. I couldn't really see all the pictures, but I did catch George Floyd and Trayvon Martin, and I thought that was so dope. But he had on his little shiny suit. His dancers had on their shiny suits, and he performed Lucille, Gagali Miss Molly, Tutti Frutti, um, yeah, and he performed pretty much the classics of Little Richard. And you know, Little Richard just passed away a few weeks ago. You know, rest in peace to him. He's the legend, the originator of rock and roll. Don't let anybody lead you to believe that he's not. He's the originator, the motivator, the creator. Okay? So rest in peace, Little Richard. Immediately after that, that's when they did the tribute to everybody who passed away within the year. And then the last person they showed was Kobe Bryant. Now we all know that Kobe Bryant's death this year was it was a major loss to, you know, the world. It was a major loss. So Lil Wayne performed his Kobe song, and he killed it. He killed it. He had Kobe's name flashing in the background, and it would show like little clips of Kobe, you know, interviews and him on the court, and pictures of him with Vanessa and the girls. And you know, Wayne was like, you know, rest in peace to Kobe and Gianna. You know, my prayers go out to the BMF family, the Black Mamba family, which is Vanessa and the girls, and Natalia, Capri and Bianca. And I'm just like, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is so beautiful. So I thought that his song was beautiful, and it was a really moving tribute, because you know, Kobe's death is still, it's like still a fresh wound, you know. And it's like we didn't really have time to mourn Kobe, because right after Kobe passed away, here came COVID. So you know, it's just it was beautiful to see Kobe be honored like that. And who better than, you know, Lil Wayne, who was his friend, and he said that, you know, Kobe was his hero or whatever. So I thought that was a beautiful performance. um Now Alicia Keys, her performance was, oh my goodness. So she was pretty much in like the streets or whatever, and the song was called The Perfect Way to Die, and she's pretty much talking about Sandra Bland, George Floyd, Michael Brown, and how they died. And you know, pretty much like she's like, you know, thank God at least you'll be forever young or whatever. But who knew that this is the way that you would go away? And you know, when the camera zoomed away after she finished performing and she kneeled, you see all the names named in the street that she's in of everyone that died from police brutality or racism. And it like, the song touched me. Like it was a really beautiful song, and the message behind it is beautiful as well. Like, don't never forget these people. Never forget these people. Like, they were regular people like you and me, who were just living their lives, and then, you know, police brutality, unfortunately. So I really loved her performance. Chloe and Halle performed, and I loved their performance. First of all, Chloe and Halle are so friggin' beautiful. They are gorgeous. And I can't wait for Halle to play Ariel, because I was looking at her and her sister the whole time like, oh my God, they look like twins. But they're not. Like, you could tell that Chloe is older. It looks like Chloe is older. I could be wrong, but Chloe looks like she's older. But they have the same friggin' face. And like, first they performed their first song and they had on all black, and they performed their second song and then they had on white. And then it's like it was a battle between the black, you know, them dressed in black and them dressed in white. And then it was so cute how they ended with, you know, leaning on each other and posing. And I'm like, this is adorable. Like, it was really cute. It was really edgy, and like their outfits were cute. I was like, this is adorable, Chloe and Halle. So then you know, they brought on Donnie Simpson to talk about Bob Johnson and his contributions or whatever to BET. And all I could think about looking at Donnie Simpson was like, you did not age. You still look the same. Donnie and them light eyes. I used to love watching him on videos. So he was so handsome, still handsome. He still looks good Still looks the same with them beautiful hazel eyes. And I was just looking at him and I'm like, yo, all of these things that we have had on BET, can you please bring it back? Because that's when BET was at its greatest. Like, it was Video Soul and Rap City and Sita's World and Hits from the Street and all of these pretty, like, these amazing shows that were on. Please bring those back. Just reboot them. Even if you can't find the original host, and train like the new host or something, but bring these back, because that was the culture. In the 90s, that was lit, and it's needed now. It's needed. We're pretty much entering a whole new era, and it's needed. So Shaq came on and he was DJing, and I'm like, excuse the hell out of me, Shaq. And he was busting out some hits. So, Shaq Diesel, he's DJ Diesel, and he was just on the ones and twos. I'm like, okay, Shaq, this is, I would, if you had you a little club, you had you a little set at a club, I would, I would bounce it out, whatever. But I was like, okay, Shaq Diesel. So then Summer Walker and Usher performed. And at first, Summer was performing by herself, and then, her and Usher performed Come Through. I love Come Through just for the fact that, she sampled You Make Me Wanna Leave the One I'm With, Start a New Relationship with You, This Is What You Do, Think About It and all the things that come along with You make me wanna come through, quarter after two, just to put it down on you. I love that song, and I think it's so dope. Like I said, like that they're sampling like these hits from the 90s that were like classics. And Make Me Wanna is a classic, and the fact that she got Usher on the song with her, lit. But their performance was like really chill. Like their performance was pretty much off the topic of Black Lives Matter, but it was very zen, very, sit back, chill, relax. I'ma sing to you, girl. I'ma sing to you, boy, type of energy. And I loved it. Their performance was adorable. It really was. So now we got to Jonathan McReynolds, who sung a gospel song, and Kane Brown, who sung country. And I was like, whoa, this black man singing country. I live. And I liked his song. I think it was called Worldwide Beautiful. And I forgot the name of Jonathan McReynolds' song, but I liked it. I think it's called Delivered, or something with Delivered in it. I don't remember the name. But I liked it. He was playing like with the guitar and whatnot. And then after he finished performing, he walked off the stage, and then Kane Brown came on, and it was just a smooth transition. I enjoyed the song. Very beautiful. We'll be putting it on my Spotify. So then next, my first lady, she's gonna forever be my first lady, Miss Michelle Obama, introduces Beyonce for the Humanitarian Award, and they're speaking about Beyonce and her Be Good, program for, to help with mental health, poverty, and all of that. And this is where I'm like, okay, people always have the meanest things to say about Beyonce, but I mean, it's Beyonce, so of course there's going to be a lot of mean things said about her. But Beyonce is the type of person, her and Jay-Z are the type of people who do things behind the scenes and they don't gloat about it. They don't have to. They don't have to say, okay, well, we just helped, Houston. We just helped, New York. They don't have to say it. They just do it. And that's it. They don't do it for the publicity. They don't do it. They do it out of the kindness of their hearts. And a lot of people are always saying, oh, well, where's Beyonce and Jay-Z when all of this stuff is happening and blah, 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 behind the scenes, doing it what they got to do and not posting it for likes and love on social media. And that's how you're supposed to do things. You're supposed to do things, in silence. You don't always have to showcase what you do. If you're doing good out of the kindness of your heart, you don't always have to post about it. Not everything is for the internet. So I'm always a Beyonce and Jay-Z fan. Always. So I already knew about, what Be Good was doing and whatnot. I already knew, I already seen it, heard about it through the Lemonade album. That album is fire. Still love Lemonade to this day. But you know, a lot of people didn't really get Lemonade, and that's okay. Lemonade is an album for women empowerment and for black people. She told us to get in formation. She yelled that we need freedom too. You know, she ain't sorry. And then her imagery in that was even a message, because that was the time that people were saying how Serena Williams looked like a man, and she had Serena Williams in the video twerking her beautiful body off. So it's like I said, Beyonce never does anything for clout. She doesn't have to. She's Beyonce. But people always have something negative to say, like, oh, well, you know, Beyonce, where is she? She's not to be found. Beyonce does her thing behind the scenes and doesn't have to post about it for clout. That's it, and that's all. So she deserved the humanitarian award, and she came on and she said her thank yous or whatever, looking like a goddess. Her hair and her makeup, her dress, the top part, because that's all you could really see was the top. But she just looked beautiful and flawless on screen, and I lived. So the last performance of the night took us to church for real. Clark-sheard and Clark-sheard. Oh my God. Whoo! Something has to break. Ooh, I loved the performance. I loved how they both had on black. Clark-sheard got a voice on her, but rightfully so, because her mama is Karen Clark-sheard. My goodness, like, they tore that song up. Took us to church, felt it in my soul, added it to my Spotify, and I'm going to listen to that because I have a playlist on my Spotify called Speak to Me. And that's a playlist that I play when I feel down and out. I got a list of songs that uplift me. And that song had me feeling like, yes, something has to. So I enjoyed it. And yeah, that was pretty much it. You know, Amanda Seales came and was still, you know, talking about left us with Breonna Taylor killers are still walking free, which they are. So and then she was like, you know, I did all of this out of my house and I was comfortable and I was barefoot most of the time and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, the whole time Amanda was on a green screen, but you wouldn't have been able to tell because how they had her set up, it looked like she was somewhere that was like a big room or whatever, but she was on a green screen the whole time. I thought it was dope. But I really enjoyed the BET Awards this year. I enjoyed the imagery, I enjoyed the messages, I enjoyed the performance. Even people that I didn't know, because usually when I watch the BET Awards, I'd be like, oh, skip that because I don't know that person. I barely skipped anybody's performance. Like, I watched every single performance. Don't remember the names of some of the songs, but I will find out because I got the list on my Spotify. But yeah, I enjoyed every single person's performance. I shout out to BET for, you know, keeping up the message that our culture is not canceled. I live for that. But I will say this. Yes, we're going through a movement. Yes, we're fighting for equality. Yes, we're fighting for change. But I don't like the fact that I feel like white networks are putting a band-aid on a bullet wound. Now, any other time, CBS doesn't care to air the BET Awards. I heard this year that they aired the BET Awards. So to me, that's kind of like them saying, you know, that's the equivalent of you saying, oh yeah, well, I got black friends. You know, my neighbor is black. I voted for Obama. Like, I kind of feel like y'all are doing too much and not doing what we're asking you to do. We're asking you to arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor. We're asking you to arrest George Floyd's killers. We're asking you to arrest all of these people who have killed innocent black men and women. Daggone bug. We're asking you to arrest these people who have killed innocent black men and women. Do right by the law. But y'all are taking it like, okay, change. Y'all are taking people who are white voice actors of black characters and they're stepping down. Okay, cool. Y'all are painting Black Lives Matter murals everywhere. Okay, cool. Y'all are doing all of these things but what we're asking you to do. It still doesn't sit right with me. We need for y'all to do what we're asking you to do. We're not asking you to air our shows on your national network. We have a network for it. If you want to air it or not, that's totally up to you. But we're asking you to arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor, George Floyd. It would be nice if y'all would arrest the killer of Trayvon Martin, but y'all let him go free. I guess we can't have it all. I don't friggin' know. But that's my take on it. I don't really care for all this other stuff. Not to say that I don't care, but that's not important right now. That's not on the priority. The top priority is to arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor. Okay? And that's all I'm gonna say about that. But you guys let me know how you felt about the BET Awards. Leave it in the comments below. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend about Teesha on the tube. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. Later. What are you waiting for? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Later.